Welcome everyone to the first part of the two-part series out to the Midwest Gascoyne. Now we went out just for a couple of days to pretty much experience the outback, and it's pretty close to us here in Geraldton, so we really wanted to get there and really explore it. So this is the footage we got on the trip. Obviously the main reason going on the trip was exploring the area, but obviously I thought about bringing the camera out and capturing some footage along the way. So we go through a little bit of the area and show you some bush camping, a little bit of food, cooked up some food, and just had a really good time. Really explored some caves and just had a really good time. So sit back and relax and enjoy this one. So we put a lot of effort into filming it, and as I said, it was absolutely fantastic. This area of the world is truly magnificent. It's one of the nicest places I've been to, and I'll be going back there very soon. It's just really picturesque. There wasn't a person, like we only saw a handful of people where we were, and on our travels there was just no one around. So it was absolutely fantastic. So sit back and enjoy the video, guys. Alright, so we got to Yalgoo yesterday.
Yeah.
So we're 200 clicks out. So if we go down this track down here, that'll allow us to essentially follow it all the way down, past all the lakes that are out here.
And
then we'll get down to we'll get down to Paynes Point, and then what I'm thinking is we go up the highway, then across down to Sandstone and go to London's Bridge. We'll spend the night there. We'll probably spend the night down here somewhere, I reckon.
Yeah, I was thinking if we camp down there somewhere, there's a bit of water around, but also we can take our time getting there and enjoy the scenery.
Yeah, that's right. And there's plenty of little tracks up here as well. So, and there's a little cave that we know of just behind us here.
Yeah.
So I think if we go and explore down there and then go back up London Bridge, we'll camp there the night, and then Monday we'll travel back to Gero.
Yep.
So that's a good plan. So this is Joker's Tunnel. We got there fairly late on the first day of the trip. So we actually parked up in the parking lot, or the gravel parking lot of actual Joker's Tunnel, which we didn't realise till the morning, but because it was so dark, we sort of just found a side road and saw the sign for Joker's Tunnel. So we're like, oh, we'll go down there and camp up. But there's actually dedicated campsites behind the actual tunnel, which we found in the morning, but we couldn't obviously see that in the middle of the dark. But coming into Joker's Tunnel was actually awesome. The actual heat in there it's actually really hot in there. Like most caves, it holds its heat really well. So if you're stuck in the middle of nowhere, you really want to find these caves, because obviously they keep you out of the elements and that kind of thing. So and the layers of rock are actually really awesome there. So you can see in the video, it's hard to see because it was really dark in there. We got LED lights and that kind of thing, trying to shine it up as best as possible. But it's actually really dark in there. And the layers of rock are in there, like the layers are just so interesting because I used to do a fair bit of mining and rock layers and that kind of thing. And when you're drilling, which is what I used to do, was really really awesome to see. To see sort of like to see the different layers of earth and that kind of thing. So it was just really interesting to see on that side of things, and we saw some pretty cool things in there. You'll see coming up that Reese got I think it was some bats or something that he sees in there, and a little family of bats are just hiding away in there and just sort of having a bit of a rest. And then further along we see another little bat in there. I actually went right past it, didn't even notice it. It was literally just walking forward, and Reese sort of it caught his eye that there was this little bat family sort of chilling out in there, and it was pretty awesome to see because they were super friendly. They didn't really make too much noise or anything like that, and they were literally standing right underneath them, and they didn't even bother. I didn't even bother moving or anything like that. And I chucked the camera right into them and all the rest of it, and they didn't seem to bother them at all. They were just sort of having a bit of a chill out, and the family and all the rest of it. And further up, you see like another little bat just chilling out there. So it's awesome to see this kind of stuff because you just don't see this stuff anywhere. Like go for a tunnel and there's sort of literally a couple of inches above your head there's a bat. So you see another little bat here that's coming up. A bit bigger. He's by himself. You just see him in the screen there, a little bit by himself, which is obviously the dad or the mum or something like that. He's just chilling out. But yeah, that's Joker's Tunnel. So it's an awesome place to see. And as you'll see coming out here, we've literally gone through the end of the tunnel. It gets really really short at the end of it. So if you're tall like myself, I'm 6'2". So if you're really really tall, you got to sort of lean into it. But yeah, so that was just an awesome thing to see. We got up first thing in the morning and had a look at this tunnel, and it was just awesome. So a whole bunch of crickets in there. So yeah, that was a little bit weird, but obviously they're just chilling out of the sun, the rest of it. But you'll see coming out here, and you can see all the sort of campsites on the hill there, and that's where you can stay if you decide to sort of come out this way. But yeah, it's on a big mountain that you can climb up as well, which gives you a really really good view of the sort of whole area. And yeah, it's just an awesome place to be. It's just this outback WA is just really where I like to go and explore and camp because it's so untouched, and there's so much out there to sort of see that you really sort of scratch the surface on what you sort of want to go out and find if you sort of go exploring. So that sort of things is absolutely fantastic. And coming up, you just see some sort of more caves and that kind of thing that we saw on the side. It was a fair bit of a walk there, but some caves where some wild animals will obviously made a bit of a home and that kind of thing. So just this stuff out here you just don't see anywhere. So I was really happy to see it, and obviously someone's made a little bit of a fire in there. So obviously someone's made it their home for one night or something like that. So they're doing something out there. But yeah, that's sort of the Joker's Tunnel and that kind of thing. That's just outside of Yalgoo. So you sort of head into Yalgoo and turn right off one of the mining road, which takes you to the essentially it's on like a mine access track. And then there's obviously Joker's Tunnel on the right hand side. So if you're sort of heading out that way, absolutely go check out Joker's Tunnel. It was awesome to see, and just one of those sort of things that. I wasn't even actually meant to see it on the trip. I didn't even, plan or anything like that. We just sort of parked there and we were like, oh, wow, there's this tunnel. So we went and had a look and all the rest of it. So, it was absolutely fantastic. So I'll leave you with the rest of the video. Here we just go explore a few little more caves and that kind of thing. And, then we jumped in the car and we sort of started looking for a bit of a lake that was opposite. We could see on top of the mountain. And we sort of tried to find out this lake that was on the side of the road, but we couldn't quite get there. But that's coming up in the video. What's up, everybody? Literally just following a random track that we've uncovered on the HEMA, and we're going to go find a bit of a lake in the middle of nowhere. So I'm going to get the drone up and have a bit of a squiz, but this road pretty much takes us all the way to this lake, and yeah, it's a little bit inland, but it's a little bit interesting road, not much for driving, but yeah, this lake should be pretty epic, but it's a tight little track, so you have to sort of on your wits. But beyond that, from here we're going to go further down and yeah, pretty much check out what this outback has to offer us, which is why we came out here. So we've got plenty of time to do it, so I'm super keen to suss out what we got going on. How we going, everybody? So we couldn't get to the lake, unfortunately. I got the drone up, but the vegetation, the track hasn't been used for a fair bit, so we tried to sort of go around the vegetation, not utilising the track, but this is way too bushy, so we called it and went back, but yeah, so fortunately we couldn't get to the lake. I got the drone up, so at least I got some footage of it, which is good. But we're on our way past, actually on the way past at the moment, the Golden Grove mine. So this is pretty much the access road to the mine, and then it turns into a like a gravel road and goes further on, but to Painsfind. But essentially from here, it turns into gravel after the mine, and then and yeah, it's pretty much obviously off road from there. So from there, we're pretty much going to look for some tracks. There's a water crossing that we're going to do. We're not sure if it's going to be water obviously flowing at the moment. There's a fair bit of water getting around, and we picked a perfect weekend for it. So we're just having a look if you know, there's an opportunity there to do a bit of a water crossing, because that'd be pretty cool. But if there's no water, we'll obviously just use the crossing as per normal. And really from here, it's about enjoying it, because we're pretty far out of Geraldton at the moment. So well, not too far. It's only about 300 clicks, but you know, we are in the outback, and we are going fairly remote. But yeah, the main thing is obviously to get out here and utilise the long weekend, and yeah, just enjoy obviously the outback. So I'll keep you updated, and yeah, pretty much obviously on the way past the mine, and then yeah, it's going to be some awesome camping. So we're really looking forward to it. So keep watching. Now this is some of the cool stuff you see out in the middle of nowhere. This is an old ute that was just out front of a homestead, and it was an absolutely epic looking ute. They put some train wheels on it, and yeah, we sort of went through it, had a bit of a look, but it was in great nick. We had a bit of a bang on the roof and that kind of thing, and there was no, it was all structurally sound, so I mean, if you wanted to, you could probably take it home, you know, better bring it back, and it'll be actually a killer ute. But we couldn't get the bonnet open. I was hoping to see a bit of the engine and see what it had in there, but it definitely had an engine, had gearbox or that kind of thing in there. So you know, it was just an awesome bit of kit. And it's just some of the awesome things you just sort of see on the side of the road. So you know, keep an eye out for these kind of things on the side of the road, because you just don't see this stuff out anywhere really. And we came up to the river, which had no water in it. It had a little bit left over, but it wasn't enough rain to really get the river flowing. But it was still a good little river crossing anyway. I was hoping a little bit of water in there, but what are you going to do? But it's an awesome little bit of area, this. So it's just outside Painsfind, and you can pretty much get there via the highway if you really want to. But obviously we went down the backtrack. But fantastic area, and the lake is actually awesome to see, and there's some more caves and that kind of thing just up the road further ahead. And we're on our way to camp. We've found a little bit of a good spot here. It was in sort of just off the main track, but the actual area was fantastic. It was full of rubbish, but we cleaned up what we could, obviously, with the area, because it was pretty filthy. Someone left a fair bit of rubbish there. But it was right next to this massive, absolutely huge rock face. We decided to have a bit of a go on the next day, but that'd have been the next video. But yeah, it's huge rock face, and it was so hidden away. If you have a look at the top left of the video, you see a car there. That was an old Falcon that's just been dumped into the bush there, and just obviously left for scrap. A tree fell on it. And yeah, it wasn't really too healthy, but yeah, it was just something awesome to see, just in the middle of nowhere. What is going on, everybody? Day of the trail was all done, wasn't it, Reese?
Yeah, good fun.
Sorted. Seen some pretty cool stuff. Now it's time to cook a feed. Again, we're not doing anything fancy. Reese has got a bit of a, what are you cooking? Spaghetti?
And just spag boggle.
Spag boggle around. The reason I'm doing this is the next couple of days I'm going to use this as meals during the day. So yeah, it's just a bit easier to have one meal instead of carrying multiple different meals. So let's get into it. Essentially, kept it simple. I'm just going to go for the sauce in the can and put a bit more flavour into it. But last time, what did I do last time? I put the tomatoes and all that kind of thing in there.
Yeah, baby tomatoes.
Baby tomatoes. Got a bit gourmet. Trying to get a bit too gourmet for camping. But after being up since 6 o'clock or wherever it was this morning,
About that, yeah.
I haven't got time for gourmet. Got time to chill, have a relax by the fire, and just enjoy the scenery. We've got a pretty good little camp here. We're just outside of Painsfind. We didn't really get there, but we found out there's not much there anyway, so we're just going to scoot through there tomorrow and head up to Mount Magnet. Onion in there, thick cut because I like the onion.
How about that?
What's that?
Thick cut.
Oh, thick cut. Put a bit of olive oil in there. I'm going to chuck some chilli in there because I like mine a little bit spicy. Reese doesn't like his spicy, that's why he's cooking his own. He's a bit of a female.
Spice is alright. It's just too much, it's not alright.
Adding herbs.
Oh, that's probably good.
Chuck a bit of garlic in there. Gotta have the garlic. Garlic is paramount to having a good spaghetti.
Garlic is paramount to everything.
Another cool thing you can do with spaghetti, if I find out where I've opened this, is get some bacon in there. Cut into strips. And every now and then, you're going to get the old juicy bacon. Just lay that in there.
Drizzle.
A bit of drizzle. A good spot here. We're actually right next to a big rock formation. You probably saw on the video because we would have. I drove up it just for the hell of it, and it's a really good spot here. So people kept trashing it with their shit. There's crap everywhere. Me and Reese got a couple of bags and cleaned it up, like a good camper should. Good work, Reese. Yeah. Sure it'll be in there.
I think it's almost time to change your clothes, I think.
Yeah, it's getting a bit nippy. I'm just going to put a little bit more onion in mine. The rest can go on the fire. There's nothing flash about this segment. This is literally how you cook. Nothing you need to do. Don't need to go crazy. Get a bit of heat into the spag bog. Crack a beer. Gotta have a beer. I might get a bit of rain here tonight, but I've got the awning set up. I'll do a bit of a walk around in the campsite. But we've got a pretty basic setup here, just awning, swag. Reese sleeps in his car, campfire, a couple of chairs. Any more basic, and yeah, there wouldn't be much going on. I have to get out of that wind. Don't scrimp on the salt. Always put a little bit more salt than you need to in there. I'm just going to try and get the rest of this sauce out. That's going to be really what I need in there. It's a good amount of sauce. It should thicken up quite nicely with the amount of meat I got in there. Empty everything else into the bin. That's about it. We'll come back to you when it's cooked. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. The new episode will be out tomorrow on the Sunday, so make sure you keep your eyes for that. As always, please like, subscribe, and thank you for watching. Please chuck a comment down below, and I'll see you in the next video, where we've got a bit of an interesting way of ending the trip, which is a little bit of a breakdown. So I'll see you out there in the traction trails, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya!